Yes, we can speak English over here. Yes, yes, yes. Can you take the mic? Father Thomas, can you take the mic? شكله عبت وبيستهبل. Take the mic.
My name's Thomas. Father Thomas just means I'm got 5 children. It doesn't mean I'm a priest or anything like that.
السلام عليكم. حد فيهم حاجة يا إخوة؟ حد فيهم حاجة؟ What are you saying? What are you saying? Go ahead, take the mic. Speak slow, please.
I am saying some people think because my name is Father Thomas, they presume I'm a priest. I am not a priest. I'm a father to 5 children. It's my way of saying don't believe everything that you see on the internet or presume that you know something without knowing it, because people see the name Father Thomas and they jump to conclusions based on. No, I'm from sunny Manchester in the UK. Some people might know of it. Great. Where the start of the Industrial Revolution started, in the West anyway. It started in China, in the Middle East, and in all sorts of other places, but in the West we say it all started here. We had the first railway, but again I think you could say the first railway was in Wales, because the miners used to use railways. That's where that started. But no, I used to come into the Muslim Christian dialogue room years ago on Pal Talk, and I stopped coming onto Pal Talk because it just became there's too much right-wing nastiness. Sorry. The dentists are shut in the UK because of the lockdown. So my speech is impaired because of my teeth at the moment. I apologize for that. I'll pass the mic.
No, actually it's very clear right now. I'm sorry before was too hard to understand what you're saying, but right now it's very clear. Can we on your for what's your name?
Well, I used to know, I forget where he came from. He was called Muslim Knight. He was an older man. He had a heart attack a few years ago. I'd love to catch up with him again. He always used to say, yeah, Muslim Knight. He used to say, aren't you a Muslim yet, Thomas? Come on. You should be a Muslim. And I went, no. I said, you're not a Christian yet. I'm not a Muslim, though. And I used to joke, in a sense, because I learned things about Islam on the internet, on the Muslim Christian dialogue. It was an education for me. And I learned that Muslims believe Jesus will come again, and he will teach the people who believe in the cross and the crucifixion that wasn't real, and he'll fight for Islam, and he'll finish up settling down having a family. So I used to say, well, Muslim Knight, I've got to stay a Christian, because if Jesus comes back and there isn't a few Christians around, then the prophecy's wrong. There's got to be Christians around for Jesus to come back to tell the Christians that they're wrong. So I've got to be one of those Christians that Jesus can come back to and tell, sorry Thomas, you're wrong. Yes, of course you can.
Excuse me, just I'm gonna say something in Arabic. This one. يا إخوة كرام لو سمحتوا ما فيش حد يكتب شيء بالعربي مش كويس لو سمحتوا. احنا عندنا الدعوة لجميع الناس مهما كان. Okay. I have a question for you if you don't mind. Can I ask you a question please if you don't mind? Can I ask you a question about Christianity? Yes, okay. Do you believe Jesus is God or Son of God?
Well, that's a difficult one to answer, because I was born a Christian, I was born a Catholic, and I was born with the belief, or taught the belief, that Jesus is the Son of God, but he's also God, and that you've got the 3 in 1. I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know. You know this. So the Catholic belief is the 3-in-1, the sanctity of the 3-in-1. As I've got older, I'm now 62-year-old man. I don't necessarily believe in any of it, to be quite honest. I've seen too many nasty things over my life to believe that there can be any truth in any of it. Because if there was a God, why would there be so much hatred in the world? There wouldn't be. God wouldn't allow that, surely. There's no need for it. But your mic, sir, your mic.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's make it short, please, if you don't mind. He seems very nice brothers, and let's have a dialogue, short dialogue, we'll make it short. Okay, so you do not believe that Jesus is God, you do not believe in Trinity. So what's your system of belief right now? Take the mic, please.
My system of belief is we are all individual and we've all got freedom of choice. You can believe what you decide to believe yourself based on your feelings or what you've read. You decide what you want to base your beliefs on, and it's your right to have those beliefs. I have my beliefs based on my feelings, my education, and I am just as empowered in having my beliefs as you are in having yours, as long as we don't step on each other's toes. I can't stop you believing in what you believe in, you don't stop me believing in me. We can have a debate, but we don't stop each other believing in each other's beliefs. Your mic, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Actually, in Islam, we have a verse in the Holy Quran. The verse explains there is no, you cannot force anybody to accept Islam. It's not by force. It's up to you. You can believe whatever you believe, and Allah, God Almighty, will judge us in the day of judgment. But I just have a specific question for you. You 62 years old, you used to be Catholic. Can you please tell me why you reject Christianity? It's because there's no way you can accept God as a man. It's because the Trinity. Why? Why reject Christianity? Take the mic, please.
Well, I'm not sure whether it's a rejection of Christianity. If you think about it, I was born in sunny Manchester. I joke, sunny Manchester. Anybody who knows Manchester knows it's a pretty damp area. That's why we had the cotton mills, because cotton doesn't snap in a damp environment, so the mills work better in Manchester. But basically, wasn't I lucky being born in Manchester, a Catholic, or a Christian at least? I wasn't born a Muslim, because it would have been a lot harder if I was born a Muslim. But why was I born a Catholic? Because my parents were Catholics. So as a Christian in a Christian country, how surprising is that? A lot of Muslims are born Muslims in Muslim countries. Surprise, surprise. How fortunate it is for all the different religions, and there's about 3,000 different religions around the world, and most people are born for where they live. And most people don't choose what religion they're born into. They're just born in an area, and that area has a predominant religion, and that's the religion they have. Nobody really chooses the religion they're born into. They're just born into it, and you're expected to stay into that religion. Some people grow and different things happen to them, and they might step outside whatever religion they were born into. Other people just stay in that religion and just believe in it. There's nothing wrong with that. Your mic, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you please just pay attention to what I'm saying? You used to be Christian, and now you do not believe in Christianity anymore. I just want to be specific about Christianity, not about the other religion. What was in Christianity looks for you very weird is because God become a man or Trinity. What exactly?
The idea that any entity, single entity, can determine everything. Because if a God is a God, he cannot have it, or he or she. In fact, God can't be he or she, because there's not an opposite. If God's a he, that would mean there should be a God female, and then if there's a God female, there should be a God male. Yet there's only one God. So please, you can't have a male or female God. You can't have a God with a sense of humour, because God knows every punchline. Because he knows everything, or the entity of God knows everything. So it can't have a sense of humour. It can't be male. There's lots of things that God cannot be. And to me, a God that allows the suffering, and not just the suffering, but the just hatred that's in the world within humans. If humans are supposed to be his crowning creation of God, we're given permission to be born by God. Without God's permission, we can't be born. We are God's creation on this earth. Well, if we're God's creation, couldn't he do better? Your mic, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. I understand from what you're saying that you do not accept that God Almighty can be a male or female. Actually, we have a chapter in Quran. It's called Sincerity. He is Allah. He is God. The one, the only. He begat not, nor begotten, and there is none like unto him. We believe in this, that God Almighty is one, is unique. He begat not, nor begotten. Okay. What else? What else? Is Trinity making sense to you? Go ahead.
Could you repeat that, sir? I didn't quite catch it, the question.
Is Trinity making any sense for you? Trinity. Go ahead.
Well, I suppose at the time, the books, I mean, the Bible is a group of books. It's not one book, it's a group of books. It's different writers put into a political forum, and that forum, the church at the time, with a number of popes, decided this is going to be the Bible, and they signed off what Gospels were going to be in it, what words were going to be in the Bible. And those were done many years after Jesus was dead. So the Bible's a man-made thing. All work, written work, is man-made. I don't think God writes. I've got a funny feeling that if there was a God, the being of a God would not be writing things down. I don't think that's a tool of a God to write something. That's a man thing. So if you're using something that's man-made, written by men, my name's Thomas, and I think Muslims do believe that in the disciples, the 12 disciples, Thomas, I think, was supposed to be a twin, but it was also supposed to be a doubting Thomas. Seeing is believing. He found it hard to believe, and without seeing for his own eyes. Well, I've never seen God. That could be classed as blasphemy, I don't know, to some people. But I'm always questioning. I was questioning from a young child, and I've not got the answers. And I think if there was a proper God, or a God, instead of 3,000 gods on the earth, I would have got some idea of the answer by now. I haven't. I've not even got close to it. I don't pretend to get close to it. All I do is try and understand other people's beliefs in a way of, if you understand someone, you can't hate them. I've got 5 children. I've already said that I'm a father, so I've got 5 children, and they're all different. And I try to understand my children. I try and guide them in certain ways, but the world's changing. It's hard for a father to guide his children these days because the world's changing so fast. He's got no concept of how people should be living because it changes day by day, different parts of the world. So we can only take control up for ourselves. And me, I'm 62, I'm still learning. I don't know the answers. I don't profess to know the answers. I'm still asking the questions. And the worst human condition is most people, in fact I'd say virtually everybody, we do not know what we do not know. If I ask you to write a book about everything that you don't know, it'd be extremely hard for you to write because you don't know what you don't know. That's why humans are very easy to be surprised. You give them and that's surprised. I never knew that. It really surprises me because they never knew. You don't know what you don't know. And I'm still trying to ask the questions to try and find out just how much I don't know. It was on Pal Talk I learned that Muslims believed in divorce. I didn't even think that Muslims believed in divorce. I heard the story of the Virgin Mary. I didn't understand that Muslims believed in the Virgin Mary. And the story, it's a beautiful story. The Muslim story, the birth of Jesus, and how he speaks as a baby and the fountain, the water comes up to thirst, Virgin Mary, and the way that when you say Jesus' name, you say praise be upon him, you show him respect because you're classed as a prophet. I used to joke with Muslim Night. I mean, this was a personal thing. Me and Muslim Night, we used to have discussions and we got very friendly in the sense of being able to say different things. I'm not sure whether it's all above board or should be said, but I used to say things like, hold on Muslim Night, you've got a picture of yourself on your profile on Pal Talk. Surely that's wrong. Because the Prophet's wife had curtains with ducks or something on it, and she told, oh, you've got to take those curtains down and not just have plain curtains because you can't have a living thing. And then I was told by other, oh no, but the profile, it's digital and it's been the new guidance. Well, I'm sorry, the digital thing is just zeros and ones. The same way as those ducks on that on that curtain was just a weave, ins and outs. It was just on a weaving machine, and that's how it was put on there. Basically, the same technology does the zero and ones, the same technology that puts the picture on. But I was able to have all sorts of little discussions, but I just tried to learn and understand more. And I don't think there's enough of that. I don't think people are open-minded enough to understand, so they just jump in and they hate. And when you really dig down into it, why do you hate this? What's wrong? They have got no idea. Because of the human condition of not knowing what we don't know. Well, pass the mic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. So I understand from what you're saying that Christianity does not make any sense for you. Why don't look for the truth? Jesus said, look for the truth and the truth will set you free. If there is only one God, must be one truth. There is only one God. This God sent all the prophets for one message, the oneness of God. Why you don't try to search for the truth? Take the mic, please.
Well, let's put it like this. What prophet is alive today? That's a question for you. Which prophet is alive today, this minute, this second, as we speak?
Excuse me, can you repeat what you're saying, please? Can you repeat it again, please?
Yes, certainly. Which prophet is alive today? What prophet is alive this minute as we speak?
No one alive today. No one. Take the mic. I said no one.
Well, where's Jesus?
What do you mean? You want to say that Jesus is alive, God Almighty take him to heaven, that's why Jesus is the truth? It doesn't believe Jesus. If you look in the Bible too, you have two prophets also ascended to heaven. Not only Jesus. Can we call them gods or son of gods? Because the three of them, including Jesus, they are in heaven.
No, but as a Muslim, don't you believe in Jesus as a prophet? And you believe Jesus will come again?
Yes, we believe Jesus. See, a Muslim cannot be Muslim unless he believes in Jesus as a prophet. We are the Muslim who believe in all prophets. It's the article of faith to believe in all prophets, from Adam to Muhammad. But we do not believe that Jesus is Son of God. We do not believe Jesus is God. We also believe that Jesus born miraculously without any male intervention. Okay? We believe also Jesus is the Messiah, Christ. But he's not God, he's not Son of God. We do not believe also Jesus died on the cross. Take the mic. Excuse me, did you hear what I said, or you want me to repeat again? Are you here? Brother, are you here? Hello? Brother, are you here? I guess he cannot hear now. Father Thomas, can you hear me? Father Thomas, can you hear me? I guess not. Yes? Okay, I said we believe Jesus is a prophet. Actually, a Muslim cannot be Muslim unless he believes in Jesus as a prophet, because it's the article of faith to believe in all prophets, from Adam to Muhammad, including Jesus. Alright? We believe he was a messenger of God, messenger of Son of Christ, or the Messiah. We do not believe he died on the cross. Go ahead.
So you believe he was a prophet, you believe he didn't die on the cross. When did he die? When did Jesus die?
Okay. According to Muslim tradition, we believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, take him alive to heaven. And also according to Muslim tradition, Prophet Muhammad tradition, hadith, authentic hadith, he will come back. After he will come back, okay, he will stay, I think, in earth around how long? Maybe 4 years. After this, will die. That's how we believe. Take the mic. Brother, can you hear me? Did you hear what I said? When he's coming back, he will stay on earth for a short amount of time. After that, he will die. Everybody will die, even the angels. The only one he cannot die is God Almighty. Everybody die. Take the mic.
So I didn't say he wouldn't die. I didn't question that. I just said, was he a prophet? And I know as a Muslim you believe he was a prophet. I understand, as far as I was aware, that as a Muslim you believe he didn't die and he will come again. That means if he didn't die, he will come again and will die after he's come again. He is now alive. And I don't know of any other prophet that Muslims believe will come again. So he's the only prophet that's not dead and will come again to the earth and have a family and have children. Is that the truth, or am I wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me.
Okay, according to Prophet Muhammad authentic tradition, he will come back, and when he will come back, listen what he's gonna do. He's gonna break the cross and kill the pigs, and he's gonna pray behind Muslim Imam. Do you understand? This is an authentic hadith. Jesus, when he come back, he will break the cross. He will kill the pig. He will pray with Muslim and behind Muslim Imam. He's not gonna even lead the prayers. Go ahead. And there is not something else too. Can anybody write we have in the Old Testament two prophets. Both of them ascended to heaven. If you want, I'll try to get you the reference. So it's not only Jesus. In the Old Testament, there is another two prophets ascended to heaven. So it doesn't make any difference. It's not something special for Jesus. It's not only Jesus. If you want the mic, take the mic.
Are those other two prophets going to come back when Jesus comes back?
Okay, as a Muslim we believe there is a grandson of Prophet Muhammad. His name is Mahdi. His name is Mahdi. He will lead the Muslim and he will lead the prayers, and Prophet Jesus will pray after him, and they will fight Antichrist. What's wrong with that? I don't understand. What is the big deal if he's coming back? Take the mic.
It's just, if Jesus is a prophet and he's going to come back, that means he's still alive now. And I asked you, which prophet was alive now? That was the question to you. And you didn't answer it. And now you're saying there's three of them. So why didn't you answer it by saying there's three prophets that are alive now? They might be in heaven, they could be anywhere, but they are alive as per they come back. They will be coming back to earth. They're not dead and coming back to life. They're alive. So there's three prophets that are alive now, you believe. But you didn't say that. I asked the question and you didn't say that. I'll pass the mic.
Already I answered more than one time, and I said that's not only Jesus. There is another two prophets in the Old Testament also ascended to heaven alive. Second, I'm asking you, you said as a Muslim we believe Jesus will come back. Do you know why he's gonna come back? Why we believe he's come back? Do you know why? Take the mic.
Yes, I said he's going to tell those Christians that we were wrong. We were lied to. As a Muslim, that's what you believe. That's what I used to joke with Muslim Night with. When he said, why aren't you a Muslim yet? I said, well, I can't be a Muslim because I've got to be a Christian. But when Jesus comes back and tells me I was wrong all this time, because it's been said that Jesus will come back. So if there's no Christians, if Muslims were able to convince all Christians and all religions on earth today that they're wrong and they all should become Muslims, it would make the Quran and the words of Muhammad wrong, because then Jesus couldn't come back to Christians. There couldn't be a fight and an army, because there wouldn't be the opposition alive. Everyone would be Muslim, so who would they be fighting? Nobody. So that everyone can't become Muslim. It's all been ordained in the teachings of Islam.
Sorry, I am talking. I don't know. I'm sorry. I said he's coming back to confirm Islam, to tell you that Christianity is false. Why is gonna come back and break the cross? Why is gonna break the cross? To say Christianity is right? Why is gonna kill the pigs? To say Christianity is right? Why is gonna pray behind the Muslim imam? To say Christianity is right? No, he's coming back as evidence for all the Christians. For the last day, all of you worshipped a man. I'm a man telling you the truth, which I heard it from God. In vain they do worship me, teaching the doctrine of a man. Now you got it? Take the mic.
I think I've got it. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying that all Christians can't, and all other religions can't become Muslims because if we did, what you just said would be wrong. for you to be right, there's got to be Christians for Jesus to come back and tell they are wrong. And that used to be the paradox that I used to talk with Muslim Knight about. It's not like atheists. There's a lot of atheists in the world. But if you think about it, there's about 3,000 different religions on earth with different gods. So as a Muslim, you believe in one God. You disbelieve every other God. So an atheist believes one less God than you. The same as a Christian or any other religion. An atheist believes in one less God. Because no religious person believes in 3,000 different gods. Even Hindus, as far as I know, believe in a lot of different gods and different figures, but they don't believe in all of them. And it's the questions I ask to try and get further knowledge. It's not just for argument. I'm not trying to just argument for argument's sake, sir. I hope you believe that. Your mic, sir.
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So the only reason that Jesus himself, he has to come back, not any other prophets, because Jesus come back because people instead of worshiping God, they take as God, and they take as his mother also as God, and he used to be Catholic. You understand what I'm saying? So he has to come back to confirm Islam is the truth and Christianity is falsehood. Alright? And also I told you, Jesus is not the only one ascended to heaven alive. If you go to the book of 2 King, chapter 2, verse 11. Can anybody post the verse, please? 2 King, chapter 2, verse 11. It says, Elijah ascended to heaven alive. Alive. Elijah ascended to heaven alive. Also in the book of Genesis, chapter 5, verse 24. Enoch ascended to heaven alive. So it's not only Jesus Christ. Can you hear me, guys? There is any sound? So we have actually three ascended to heaven alive, not only one. Jesus, according to the New Testament, in the Old Testament, second book of Kings, chapter 12, 11, 2:11, Elijah, and also in the book of Genesis, chapter 5, verse 24, Enoch also ascended to heaven alive. Not only Jesus, and I told you more than one time, it's not only Jesus ascended to heaven alive. We have three, not one, three. طيب خير إن شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you very much. But I have a advice for you. You're 62, and you know this can come anytime. And I advise you, and I advise myself, to look for the truth. Because yes, there is God. There is only one God. Still, you never know. A lot of people die from COVID-19. A lot of people die. In the United States, almost 100,000. So I'm just advising you, look for the truth before it's too late for you. Before it's too late. If you don't mind, we're going back to Arabic language. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. هو باختصار شديد يعني هو كان راجل كاثوليكي وبعدين ترك المسيحية الآن لأن المسيحية ما بتعملش يعني مش منطق. الإله ليس ذكر أو أنثى. وبعد كده الراجل اللي هو تقريبا ملحد، الراجل الملحد ما بيؤمنش بأي دين يعني، عمره 62. وبعدين هو سأل وردينا على السؤال وردينا الإجابة أكتر من مرة. هو عاوز يقول إن في ميزة ليسوع. إيه الميزة؟ طالما يسوع حي، مش معنى يسوع حي. قلت له مش يسوع لوحده، يعني انتقل السماء حي. انا فهمت هو عاوز يروح فين على طول مباشرة. لو تلاحظوا اول ما قال ايه مين اللي حي الوقت من الرسل؟ لان حسب الكتاب المقدس ايليا واخنوخ صعدوا للسماء احياء. صعدوا هم احياء، يعني 3 مش واحد. حتى اخونا كان يكتب له اللي هو قال لك 3 مش واحد. وبعد كده حضراتكم فبيقول طب مش معنى المسيحي هو اللي يرجع. فشرحت له كذا مرة بالذات هو بالذات اللازم عشان يصلح العقيدة بتاعتكم ويأكد ان الاسلام هو الصح. هو مش راجع يقول المسيحية صح، هو راجع ولازم يكون المسيح مش اي نبي تاني. اخد بال حضراتكم؟ عشان يثبت ان الاسلام العقيدة الصحيحة، يكسر الصليب، يكسر الصليب ويقتل الخنزير، تمام حضراتكم، ويصلي خلف امام مسلم. كل ده بيأكد ان الاسلام هو الدين الحق. وبعدين هيقعد مدة على الارض، المدة مش فاكر، يمكن 40 سنة لو انا فاكر صح، وبعد كده هيموت، وبعد كده هيموت كسائر البشر، يعني صح، وبعد كده هيموت كسائر البشر، وبعد كده هيموت كسائر البشر، عادي جدا يعني. خير ان شاء الله.
مع تحيات إخوانكم في غرفة الحوار الإسلامي المسيحي عبر البالتوك. مسلم كريستيان دايلوج.